Call your sponsor. Call your sponsor. Call you sponsor. Call your sponsor. Call you.
Bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor. Call your.
I hope he's getting laid 5 times a day. I hope he's getting laid 12 times a day by 12 different women and their twin sister, who's super hot. That was the way I dealt with it. And it's kind of that detachment thing that you and I were just talking about. It's like it's combining both of them, where the only way that I could find peace was to let go of me being the one and actually double down on, okay, not only am I okay with me not being the one, I hope you're getting it 50 times a day elsewhere. Congratulations.
I love this about you because this is how we are polar opposites, but on that same thing, right? Looking to go towards the middle, right? Because I would say if they're not with me, they can't have anyone, which is right. And then you're doubling down the other extreme where like, okay, not going to work out. I hope they get whatever, infinite possibilities or what, it's like the other extreme, but I almost think that yours is coming from this place of actual like abundance, right? Where mine is like restriction, like there's not enough.
No, we're on the same page.
Oh, we are both.
Yeah. I did not want him to be with anybody but me. A million percent. A million percent. I was so... The only way for me to get through it was to let go of my attachment to the results. And the only way I could do that was to double down on what my worst fear was.
Got it. Okay, got it. This I think needs to be a new tool that I'm incorporating and passing on, actually. It's the double down, but it's the double down of the opposite, right?
It's like looking in, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of losing? What am I afraid of getting? I'm afraid of losing male attention. And then I have to go, okay, can you get okay with losing male attention on a big scale? Sure. All right. Well, now I have peace. I don't want anybody else in the world to hold my peace hostage. And for me, it doesn't work to go, okay, I let go. I personally like to double down to get to the peace.
Well, that's what I like about it, because you're going the whole opposite direction, which ultimately I think for me, what I'm hearing is leading back to this whole thing of attachment and surrender. Right? Afraid of not getting attention from men, and then it's literally rooted in the detachment of may not get it, let's double down on never getting it, or right, like, is that what I'm hearing?
Right.
Yeah,
to get okay with whatever it is my mind is telling me to fear, so that my mind, whatever the thinking is not holding me hostage. And that's what happens. Our brains are taught to look out for us and to find contrast. And so when it finds something and we go, ooh, that's a contrast, it's like, okay, boss, I'll double down. I'll go dig that bone up and we will hold on to it. And we will, even if we bury it, I'll dig it back up again, And so what I have to do is tell it, hey, listen, I'm not attached to that bone anymore. I could care less. I am bone free. Ironically.
Well, pun intended. What I love is this whole dog analogy and this thing of like how the brain functions, but also you've shared this with me before, like as a newcomer, if I don't replace my drink and drug with program and people and other things, I will go back to that. Right. And so like, I know you've said that in the context of like, get to those steps, like just start working them, start applying them, start practicing them. And it's similarly to this dog with the bone. Like my brain wants the treat or the bone or whatever it is. And then I hyper focus only on that. Right. And then what you're saying, which similarly to this thing with program and the drink, is like, okay, you're making a conscious decision to fill it with something else, which is that whole other, okay, well, we're not looking for that bone anymore. We're looking over here now.
Exactly. It's a pivot. It's a redirect. Because let's say I'm out there before I discovered a drink, right?
Yeah.
And all that dog is doing is going and getting mommy's bone. Mommy needs this. Let's go get it. Mommy needs that. Let's go get it. Let's be hyper vigilant. So then I take a drink and I'm not concerned with mommy's needing her bone. I'm not concerned with that dog digging it out. I'm not concerned with anything. It's great. But then I have to get sober because DUIs and jail and all these fun things, right? And so I get sober, and then that dog is like, okay, I'm here. I'm awake. I'm constant all the time. Did you wake up? Are you ready? Let's go. Let's go find a boat. What's wrong with this thing? Let's find what's wrong with this thing, you know? And so it's about in sobriety. Yeah. I mean, if you don't replace it, you're going to need a drink to get that dog to shut the fuck up.
I have a question. So in the work dynamic on the career front, right? So let's just say my fear is that I'm going to be unable to perform and do the job. What would be the thing that I replace it with?
Yeah, I mean, the replacement is good. So what I would say is, if you're like, I don't think I can do the job, or let's just say it's down to a specific project. I'm not sure if I can do this project to the level that the higher ups are wanting me to.
Yeah.
So what I do is go, yeah, I may not be able to. Maybe I'm going to disappoint them. Can I get through that with me and my higher power? And then once I can answer yes to that, and I've looked whatever I'm scared of in the face, and I've acknowledged it, and I've said, you might actually happen, and I will still be alive and here and well, and I still know how to parent myself through that. Then I'm free to be me and show up however I need to show up.
So I'm not necessarily doubling down the opposite direction. I'm basically just acknowledging that, okay, yeah, that could possibly, that in the realm of possibilities, that could be that could potentially happen. And
yeah, the double down is for those extreme ones, like when you're obsessed with a man and he's not calling you back, and your dog knows nothing else in the world. Like, it doesn't even remember how to drive a car, how to eat food. It doesn't remember anything except for this man has to call for me to have peace.
Yes. Okay. So this this is an important distinction. The romance finance. It's like I'm aligned with you. Like the romance piece, it's like, oh yeah, I can if I think about any romantic whatever, like, yes, I can totally use the double down feature. With the and
right.
that would be beneficial. Like the work front, I'm glad you answered that, because in my mind I'm like, oh, and then am I going to be manifesting like this will never happen? Like, oh, I'm totally setting myself up for failure. Where it's like, no, I can, in the realm of possibilities, that is possible, and I can deal with that should that be the case. And it's not to say that I shouldn't take any, because I want to go global, like not take any action and like, see, I told you it wasn't going to work out, like my brain still goes there.
Well, and that's the thing about the self-sabotage. I feel like sometimes for me, the self-sabotage is because I won't acknowledge that voice that says, we can't do it. Like, I'm fighting against it, and I'm fighting against it, and it's all I think about. And it is that thing of like, whatever you focus on grows. So my mind is thinking failure, 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 but I'm not looking it in the eyes and saying, I see you. That is, I love how you just put it. That is in the realm of the possibilities. And to me, that's that toxic positivity when there's a person who just cannot acknowledge the thing that is so obvious that they're so afraid of.
Wow. Okay, so this is a lot to chew on.
Ironically, I've given us a bone to chew on.
We can never go wrong with the intersection of dogs and bones and relationships. I mean, that will forever be giving. Forever
there
giving.
We go.
We're almost at our final 5. I have a question. Do you have a Yeah, I do have a question.
Bring it.
Okay, so the part of the people that raised me that I'm most afraid of becoming.
Mm. Is that the question?
Yeah, ... It's more of like a fill in the sorry, it's more of a it's more of a Mad Libs.
Good dramatic pause. And
ACA
what's the
Mad Libs.
question?
So the ACA Mad Libs is the part of my parents that I am most afraid of becoming.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, got it. Okay, this is good. Ooh, ow. Ooh, everything hurts right now as I'm about to say this. Oh, shit. I feel like I'm just going to tell my oh, this is what I do and I don't want to be doing it. It's the part of my mom that I could call her and say, hey, I just got this really big win at work and, they're really happy about my project. And they said that they want to, do more of this creative venture that I'm so excited about. And she'd go, oh, I remember when I had a creative venture and one time I did this and you were 4 years old and I did that. And it's like, she could not ever just be there for me and hear a story and be there and be in the moment. It was always 4 steps ahead and how it related to her and her life.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that. I sometimes think that that's how we're taught in the rooms.
I mean, I think that's part of how we're taught in life. And it's really hard for me because I know I do it with my son, which is why it's like, ooh, he'll say something and I'm like, ooh, I have experience with that. And I want to say it right back. Right. But there is something to be said for holding the space and then saying, would you like to hear my experience, strength, and hope?
That's beautiful.
How about you?
So, my thing with the parents most afraid, I mean, dare we say the fear thing that's what we're just then perpetuating, but I think that it's part of me, and it's the part that I'm looking to actively shift and practice shifting, which is this part of my mother being protected and perfect and self-sufficient and alone. And that is that part of not being vulnerable, just make it look good, which isn't a way to actually connect with myself or others. It leaves me it leaves me like Lilith on whatever damn Frasier show, where it's like, I'm just a robot. People can be comfortable with me and feel safe because they know what to expect from me. But there's still this veil or wall in between me connecting with others.
Wow, so deep, so good, so vulnerable. See, you're doing it right now. You're connecting with others.
Well, what I will say is this gratitude and appreciation for you, Misty, because you have been one of the lights and the safe spaces for me, to actually be me,
Same. And one of the things that I really appreciate about you, Sam, is you have an intelligence about this program that I respect so much that it's fun to get in the playground and play, and it is safe, so I greatly appreciate that.
Love you
too. Y'all need to go call your sponsor. Look how cool this is.
Bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor.
Send us an email with comments, questions, or concerns, bcysponsor@gmail.com.
Don't forget to rate 5 stars.